now comes the part of the...
If I could, Dr. Sievers?
Yeah, go ahead.
As I look through this, one of the concerns I guess I have right now at this stage in the process, I look at this list of items that we put together, given direction on, and I just look at the stage we're at in negotiations, and I think that we as a board are probably in a position where, in terms of giving direction on our negotiating position as a board, we're in a position, number one, we're dealing with the new law 104, so we're having all these conversations out in the open. We clearly have an obligation to negotiate in good faith, which I think that the board is all going to comply with. But we also set out some goals in the outset, talking about how we wanted to make sure that we end up with a contract that we believe, first and foremost, is going to be in the best interest of the kids here in the district. We also recognize that we have an obligation as elected officials to be using resources wisely, and so I fear at this stage in the game for us, unless the board gives some really direct language to our negotiating side, that we're not really going to be able to fulfill those those objectives and those duties that we have as a board. And so for me, as I look at this list, I want to make a motion tonight that we don't just take a look at this list, but make a motion tonight real specifically that we give direction to Dr. Scheer, along with our board legal counsel, to bring back to us a draft of the MOU that we can present as our negotiating position. So I just want to read this. I want to make sure that it's captured in the way that I intended it. But the motion would read, I move to direct Dr. Scheer and the board's legal counsel to work together and create a draft MOU that A, removes the current performance management incentives plan and replaces it with a pay-for-performance pilot program, revises Articles 5.1, 5.3, 5.5, and 9.4, and any other necessary to remove TEA access and privileges that are not available to any other organizations in the community, moves issues that in the opinion of board legal counsel and the district human resources department are better situated in a handbook or board policy to the appropriate location. These issues should at least include Article 6, collaborative decision-making, parts of Article 19, teacher evaluation, Article 20, reductions in force, Article 9, leave, Article 10, insurance benefits, Article 11, flexible spending accounts, Article 12, payroll arrangements for teachers, Article 14, extra duty salaries, Article 15, department chairpersons, and Article 21, procedures on class size. And finally, addresses options regarding current severance transition leave plan, which obligates us to more than $11 million payout to retiring teachers. And I want to make clear that that really concludes the motion. But I do want to make clear that my motion is not saying that we move away from severance leave, just that we recognize that it is an obligation that we have as a district, and so it is going to impact these other areas that we've all talked about in terms of steps and columns, para, insurance, new teacher salaries, facility needs. So my opinion is that we need to honor it, and we need to make good on that agreement, but just that we recognize that it is an obligation that the district has, and we need to take it into consideration. So with that, I'd entertain a second and then open it for discussion.
Is there a second for this motion?